Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ango Show live. It is Friday, October 10th, 2025. And today we are live. My name is Ango. And today, of course, I'm joined by Billy TKO via satellite. I think he's in Aruba. You're in Aruba right now. Where are you?
Yeah, so I'm actually, I just got back from Turks and Caicos. So I have a little overlay right now.
Nice, dude. Well, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Glad you're able to join us live from over there across the pond. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know. I'm just being a little silly guy. Goofy guy over here.
There.
Yeah, but hey, yo, listen, man. Crown Jewel is tomorrow morning at like 7 or 8 a.m. in Eastern time. It's in Australia, obviously.
It's at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. I'm stupid. But yeah, you know, obviously we got Crown Jewel this weekend, and it's a very big deal. And you know, we are at a very, very what is happening here? YouTube is giving me an error because I can't stream in 4K. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can fix that.
Get out of here. They're telling us we can't stream.
Are you guys able to watch and listen to us live?
Let me go double check real fast. I can figure this out. Don't you even worry, brother. Oh my God, Ango.
No,
I was just saying.
Is it working? People in the chat are saying it's working. But I have
yeah, it's working. I'm seeing us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing us live and in color.
And it's in 4K.
It looks good. Dude,
YouTube is
these are some handsome fellas. Dude, these are some handsome fellas. I should turn them on.
YouTube is telling me that you can't stream in 4K. But I'm watching the stream, so we're gonna keep it going. That's cool. Okay, bet. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
whatever. I'm gonna keep it going. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, Crown Jewel is tomorrow morning. I don't know if you guys watch SmackDown, you know, using nordvpn.com/Ango on Netflix for international viewers. Wink, 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 wink.
Can I tell you something? I did.
You did. I did. What a great way to watch SmackDown this morning, because I'm gonna be honest, man, it was kind of nice. It was actually really dope.
It was. I enjoyed the show a lot, man. I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know, man. Call me. I'm an early bird at the end of the day. If I could get everything that I need to get done in the morning, I'd be very fine. I'm actually cool with things starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, but
yeah,
the meat thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, to me personally, it's a change. You know, it's definitely
for sure.
It's definitely an interesting change for sure. But you know, it's cool kind of waking up early to wrestling, right? I think like it's just different.
Dude. I mean, SmackDown just put on a banger at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, why not?
By the way, before we talk about Crown Jewel, you guys should probably watch SmackDown tonight. It's an amazing episode. Like, I don't know what the they were doing, bro. Like, there's been the word that's
going to let them know that there are going to be like spoilers. Like, if you guys haven't watched the show, like, there's probably going to be spoilers.
Yeah, there's probably going to be spoilers.
Yeah.
Woo,
spoilers.
But it was a great SmackDown, bro. Great SmackDown. Like, genuinely good SmackDown. So if you guys didn't watch it, do me that favor and watch it on USA Network at 8 p.m. Eastern. But if you got nordvpn.com/Ango, you could go on Netflix right now and watch it. We need some more likes on the stream too, man. I don't know. YouTube ain't pushing out shit today. I put out a video today. YouTube's not pushing out. YouTube.
I like the stream, man.
Yeah, they're not pushing out my video. I mean, this is like record low viewership for a video that I've ever uploaded. So I don't know what the hell is happening today on YouTube. YouTube just literally says, "Hey, Ango, go fuck yourself," and I'm supposed to take it. So it's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is, and you know, we'll keep it going because at the end of the day, we're gonna bring you guys the content that you guys want.
Absolutely.
But we are for sure talking about WWE Crown Jewel. We're making our predictions today. And before we could break down match by match, I think it's really important that we literally just have a conversation about how we got here. Because WrestlePalooza, I think maybe it's the optics of ESPN giving it like a C grade. Maybe that kind of affects things. Maybe WrestlePalooza was a very solid show, but it wasn't the spectacle that we thought we were getting. Maybe this kind of lit a fire under WWE's ass, because if you're looking at this card, dude, it's a good build. It's a good build. And then obviously today with the Crown Jewel kickoff show, the Seth Rollins stuff. And then, but if you're also watching SmackDown and you see Cody Rhodes, like, I think we've had a way better build for this show. Less hype for Crown Jewel than WrestlePalooza, but I think this will exceed expectations. What's your thoughts on that, Billy?
Yeah, dude. I mean, this happens to the WWE all the time. A lot of the times, we'll use WrestlePalooza as an example. They hype up a show, and it's expected to be this huge thing. And I'm not saying every show, but in time, you know, there have been shows that were built up a certain way and ultimately were letdowns. It happens, right? Not everything can be perfect or great or whatever the case is. Well, WWE, that was their first pay-per-view on ESPN, so they had no other option but to make that show damn near perfect. And they didn't, right? They got a C grade. It's no good. So today, and we'll just use, like, you know, starting from Monday to now, the build for this show has exceeded its limitations. You know, as somebody who made a video previously on how I felt about the build, I was like, oh man, like maybe I'm not that excited for it, whatever. Then Monday comes along and it's like, oh shit, wait, I'm actually very excited for this show. And again, WWE does it from time to time. Obviously, I think you kind of said it best. They had a fire lit under their ass, dude, coming off the worst SmackDown viewership that they have ever received, right? They had something and they had to shake something up. So, you know, obviously they knew they were failing somewhere along the lines and something was not hitting the way maybe it's supposed to for some people. WWE did an ultimate really good job fixing those problems. So I'm thinking that we're expected to have a really good show tomorrow, just knowing what we had today. You know what I mean? So ultimately, I'm looking forward to the show, but your analyzation of that is 1,000% correct.
Yeah, so I was going to say one thing too that needs to kind of be said here, which is a very big deal. And I want to throw Trevon Womack, I think it was him. He said in the chat, them saying WrestlePalooza could be the next Mania or SummerSlam slapped them in the ass. And I do think that was a very, very, very big issue for WWE. They overhyped that in the sense of like, okay, if you're going to treat it like a spectacle that you're saying it is, I'm expecting it to be a spectacle. We didn't necessarily get that. And that was a very strange situation. What's your response to that, Billy?
I mean, yeah, 100%. If you're going to go out and say something's going to be as big as like SummerSlam or WrestleMania or the Royal Rumble, then it better hit like a WrestleMania, SummerSlam, or a Royal Rumble. And ultimately, them saying that and not delivering that, yeah, dude, it smacked them across the face. And it, you know, it was probably a little blow for them, especially because that was the return of AJ Lee. That was supposed to be like this huge night for them. And ultimately that was very fun, but it didn't give you really anything crazy else. You had the match with Brock Lesnar that, you know, was a Brock Lesnar wrestling match. And like, we've seen that numerous times. Like, they didn't do anything out of the unordinary for them. So I think tomorrow when we have Crown Jewel, I think we have an opportunity to deliver a little bit of the unordinary, right? We're walking into some territory where we don't know exactly what's going to happen. I talked about it in the video. I said, you know, I don't know where CM Punk plays in this role. If he, you know, how it's going to look for him and Seth Rollins and him and Cody Rhodes down the line. Obviously, you now have the story of Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. Like, there's so many moving parts with this show versus WrestlePalooza that maybe didn't have all those moving parts. So WrestlePalooza, funny enough, was actually the stepping stone show for this show. And that's crazy to think about. But yeah, ultimately it did. WWE calling them, making it this huge spectacle, or saying it was that, yeah, it ultimately, you know, it smacked them across the face.
Yeah. I was going to say too, one thing that really should be said is, like, with Crown Jewel, not only is it the perfect time to rectify what happened with WrestlePalooza, but you got to give us some surprises. And I kind of want to kind of point on this for a second.
Mm-hmm.
WWE Crown Jewel needs to deliver surprises to make up for WrestlePalooza. But the way they can do that is not necessarily just by having like debuts or returns or like NXT call-ups or, you know, a new member joining the Vision or The Rock coming back. They don't need to do anything like that. But what I'm saying is they need to do something that really makes Crown Jewel feel like they listen to the feedback from WrestlePalooza. And maybe it could be a surprise debut. Maybe it could be a surprise return. But let's just see them get really creative here. You know, you got Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. This would be a perfect time to introduce Theory, right? Theory is rumored to join the Vision for War Games. This would be the perfect way. Imagine if Bronson Reed beat Roman Reigns. Like, go take that step of creativity and take it to a whole different level, because you don't want that lingering effect where it's like, okay, right now this was a great week for television. Raw and SmackDown and NXT were awesome. But then 2 pay-per-views back to back, it's under delivering. It's underwhelming, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of opportunities for WWE to do kind of like you said. It doesn't necessarily have to be the call-up, the debut, or the return. They really have numerous opportunities. And one thing that I've said countless times that I'm ready for and I'm ready to get behind is the AJ Styles and John Cena match. Like, I know that one isn't. Maybe it's just me personally. I feel like it's not heavily talked about the way that it should be because of like Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins and the way that build has been. And obviously we haven't seen John Cena on TV to help with this build with AJ Styles. But by God, this is going to be a stellar match. It will be the last time that we see these two in the ring. It will be something so amazing. And I think that within itself could be something that people talk about for years to come. And that's a way for WWE to deliver. Go out there, let these guys, I'm talking 45 minutes. Let them go out there and wrestle. You know what I mean? They did it at the Royal Rumble. Don't step outside of the ring. You know, they very much paid tribute to the sport of pro wrestling. Like, those are some of the things that I want to see from Crown Jewel this weekend, because that's not the only thing. There are obviously so many numerous things, but that is one thing for me that could really just make the weekend feel very special.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We did get a super chat from our good friend Adam Myron. He dropped a $5 super chat. He said, "Hey, Ango, you mentioned on your YouTube this morning about Survivor Series leaks, and I thought Cena would be in the War Games match with Team Cena versus Team Lesnar. And I thought this was actually a really good point, but the leak that did come out was John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. And I'm one of those guys. I actually have a full-length video dropping on More Ango later today that details this. So I don't want to spend too much time talking about this. But John Cena versus Dominic Mysterio is the perfect match for John Cena to win, because you can look good in defeat. Dominic Mysterio could lose to John Cena. It's not burial. I think John Cena needs to complete the Grand Slam Championship. But in this long form video that I have coming to More Ango, I actually outline this whole idea of retiring the Intercontinental Championship. And I know this could be somewhat of a hot topic, but John Cena beating Dom, retaining against Gunther, then you have a tournament in 2026 for the Intercontinental Championship. Whatever replaces that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I have theorized in that video. But I would say I would prefer my way of thinking that aligns with this. So yes, John Cena in War Games would be cool. But if you look at the idea of this bloodline stuff and with CM Punk, I think there's a lot of cool stories that you can tell there. LA Knight, I think Lesnar and the Vision and Austin Theory, I think there's some cool stuff that you could say there. There's a lot of cool things that can happen. John Cena doesn't necessarily have to be in War Games, and I think there's a little bit more of a specialness with John Cena doing singles matches. Like, even John Cena doing the singles match with AJ Styles, to me, it just seems like a no-brainer. Quite frankly, that's kind of how I look at it. Billy, what do you think?
So I'll be 100% honest with you. John Cena going head up with Dominic Mysterio right now is hands down the best thing that WWE can do, because ultimately, I seen your video, it will crown John Cena a triple crown champion, and that's obviously something at this point in his career that needs to happen. It just has to. And to anybody who would think otherwise about Dominic Mysterio, maybe saying something along the lines of like, oh, well, it'll bury him in some cases, I don't see that as the case at all. I actually feel that him main eventing a Survivor Series would be huge. Now, when it comes down to the War Game stuff and everything like that, I don't need to see Cena in that. I want to see Cena go out and win the Intercontinental Championship. I want to see him defend it against Gunther. Like, I don't necessarily have to have him in the War Games match because it's the War Games match and John Cena should be a part of it, because maybe they'll be able to say, oh, he was never in one. That was never really John Cena's style of match. He was never really involved with the big groups or anything. John Cena was really like lonely, you know what I'm saying? So him going out facing Dominic Mysterio, it's great for not only himself, but it's also great for Dominic Mysterio. I love the idea of it. Count me in. Survivor Series is going to be fun. Obviously, Petco Park, super fire.
Perfect. And that's going to bring us to Crown Jewel. Shout out to Adam for the super chat. Guys, if you want to help us hit our super chat goal, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. We'll read your comments, your predictions, your hot takes, everything. I want to kick things off with the Crown Jewel pay-per-view. It's time to jump into these predictions. And Billy, I want to start off with Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns. So I'm going to lay out my prediction, then I want to hear your thoughts, and then we'll take a look at the chat and see what the chat also thinks about the match and their predictions. But first and foremost, this Saturday, I'm picking Bronson Reed to defeat Roman Reigns. It's time for Bronson Reed to get that major singles win in a PLE. But not only that, Bronson Reed should win this match with the help of Austin Theory. We know that Austin Theory is set to return and join the Vision for War Games and Survivor Series. We know Brock Lesnar is expected to be part of that match. Right now, the Vision kind of has this issue where Seth Rollins may not be trusting Paul Heyman as much. I think Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, and Austin Theory should be the reason why Bronson Reed defeats Roman Reigns. But I also want to see a little bit of tension between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. And I think if we can get that, that would be absolutely massive. I think that would be such a great way for Bronson Reed to win. And it doesn't impact Roman Reigns in the slightest, because if you can make Roman Reigns lose, yet do it in a way where he's actually screwed over, I just think it tells a better long-term story, which ultimately leads to Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 42 main event in Las Vegas for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, that's what you think?
That's what I think, brother.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I have a little bit of a different theory. No pun intended, but I will say this. I agree with you on the stance of Bronson Reed. This is his time. He should be crowned. It's his moment. We're ready for him to have that moment. It's only a matter of time. I actually want him to lose for a different reason. And I think the reason why that is because I think in some cases, I agree with you. It'll ultimately drive a wedge between him and Jey Uso, right? That's obviously super important to the story that we're seeing now. There has to be some kind of wedge drawn there. But my thought process here is that it will pull Jey Uso further and further and further away if he sees Roman Reigns not being the head of the table, because Jey will go to him, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's happening to you? Things of that nature. And I ultimately think it will lead to some type of match between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. That's my thought process. And obviously you get Jimmy involved somewhere in the mix here, because truth be told, Jimmy plays such an important factor of like the good guy. I think it will ultimately lead to him like winning an Intercontinental Championship or a United States Championship. But really the story here to me feels like Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns, and these two head-on collision at somewhere like the Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, because I'm still in belief that we're going to get Seth Rollins and CM Punk in the main event, but that is just me.
Interesting. So you are, just to be clear, you are picking Bronson Reed?
I am picking Bronson Reed. I do think ultimately Bronson needs this match.
All right, let's take a look at the chat. Let's see what people in the chat are saying. Chester Franklin says, I don't see Bronson losing in his home country.
Nope.
I mean, he did technically lose. When did they do Chamber in Australia?
24.
So, yeah. Something to consider. Sometimes the hometown hero doesn't get the hometown win, but
Was he in the Chamber match?
I honestly can't even remember at this point. But he didn't win.
No, he did not, obviously.
Okay. Let's see. Henry G says Reed gets the win with the help from the new member of the Vision. Okay, that makes sense. Michael Graham says, hey, Ango, I agree with your prediction. Bronson does need a big win. Chester says Bronson wins because of a new member. Also, the biggest win of his career, beating Roman. Darth Bane says Austin Theory joining the Vision doesn't make sense. I think it does, considering Austin Theory does have that history with Seth Rollins as part of the Monday Night Messiah gimmick. One thing I will say about the Austin Theory thing, though, and the only caveat to that is that they've kind of been building him up to be a babyface. So why would he join the Vision?
That would be my biggest argument to that, is why would you do everything? But they did pull him off TV, and I know it's crazy and messed up, but WWE, they're not. Like, they can't be praised for everything that they do. Sometimes they have pulled things off TV and just kind of let it go.
Well, it's not that. You know, I think there's a good story that you could tell long term for Austin Theory to join the Vision as being the ultimate opportunist. For sure. Realizing, okay, maybe he has to kind of fake it till he makes it, until he eventually has to break away as a babyface. You know, that could be a really, I mean, if WWE really want to play their cards right, you could have Austin Theory be a heel here and then eventually be the one to break away from Seth Rollins and get his lick back. And then, you know, you could build something there. That would be kind of fun. What if Austin Theory was Money in the Bank winner next year and cashed in on Seth Rollins and became a babyface? You know, like those
are things that I see.
Yeah, like there's ways to do it, but you got to play your cards right and you got to get the audience on board. I think if there's somebody who could make it work, it would be Austin Theory, because he is talented.
Very much.
Sharon Dye says I pick Bronson Reed. So it seems like everybody's picking Bronson Reed here, which is cool. We'll obviously revisit this live stream next week and see how many of us were right. But I do think Bronson Reed should win. I don't think Roman needs to win. Knowing WWE, they're probably just going to give it to Roman, but I don't necessarily find that to be...
I hope not.
But it does make sense, though. It's an Australian street fight, so if there's a way to do it, I mean, like, it's got to get messy. You got to have the bloodline getting involved. You got to have people getting involved here. I just think it's a no-brainer. It's a good way to do it, for sure. The second match that we have is the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, Stephanie Vakir versus Tiffany Stratton. I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest here. Stephanie Vakir is going to beat Tiffany Stratton. She's going to stand tall at the end of Crown Jewel as the Crown Jewel champion. And I think, listen, Tiffany Stratton is also somebody who's considered the future of the company. But when you look at Stephanie Vakir, they're hot-shotting her to the top. She's done remarkable things in the past year. I can't see how they don't do it. You know what I mean? I can't see how they don't do it. I think Stephanie wins. I think that's what WWE wants, is they want Stephanie to win, and I think they want her to win in convincing fashion, and it's going to be a fun match. I mean, I don't really know how else to predict this. I would be kind of shocked if we got anything other than that, to be honest.
So you're going with Stephanie here.
I'm picking Stephanie.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Stephanie too, but I'm going to make an argument for Tiffany Stratton. The argument for Tiffany Stratton is that Tiffany Stratton honestly kind of needs the win too. Obviously, right now we know that Stephanie Vakir maybe needs the win just that much more because she is the new champion. You know, WWE is obviously looking to push her to the moon and back. But the argument for Tiffany Stratton here is that she needs that exact same thing. Her run lately, and I'm not saying the whole run, but her run as of lately has been and felt a tad bit dry. Now, obviously, that sucks because Tiffany Stratton is such an amazing, a worker and things of that nature. I do believe that she could actually, in some senses, utilize the win more right now and let Tiffany Stratton go on Raw and dominate Raw. Like, obviously, this is like a brand supremacy thing. Like, this match in particular feels more brand supremacy than Cody and Seth. You can make the argument that Tiffany needs it just that much more because of the length of her run and the things that need to happen after her run. She needs something to pick her run back up. Stephanie's run is going to be fine. Right over on Monday Night Raw, it is going to be fine. So that would be the one argument that I would make. I will continuously say that, yes, Stephanie Vakir, I do think will win, but the argument is that Tiffany actually, in my head, needs it just that much more.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot straight here. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't halt somebody's momentum to give somebody else momentum when right now I don't think Tiffany needs it, honestly. I really don't. I think Tiffany would be fine regardless. I think I think Stephanie just has too much momentum. Why would you put it at a halt, to be honest?
So then we have to beg the question of what makes it a halt if it's a brand supremacy thing?
Because she's already been on fire, consistently picking up wins, consistently, she's right now she's on the rise, and Tiffany Stratton is kind of plateaued currently, and I wouldn't halt.
Well, that's my problem. Yeah. You're absolutely right.
I get your problem, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't put it. If somebody's already plateaued, I wouldn't kickstart their momentum in a way that would halt somebody else's. So what I would rather have happen is have Tiffany, I think there's an opportunity for Tiffany and Nia Jax and Bianca and Jade Cargill and Charlotte and Chelsea Green and some of the women on SmackDown to build up that story. Personally speaking.
And obviously they have the Julia thing going on too.
Yeah, so I think there's things that you can do there. I mean, realistically, it should have been Stephanie Vakir versus Julia at Crown Jewel. That's how I kind of look at it. But, it is what it is. We got to play with the cards that we're dealt currently as it stands. But that's where I kind of disagree with you. But I see where you're coming from. I totally understand.
Yeah. Yeah. But I am going to take Stephanie because in the reality of the situation is that, yes, obviously they're not going to halt somebody's momentum for just, somebody else is the need to be picked back up.
Yeah. The third match that we have is John Cena versus AJ Styles, and actually we got a super chat from Tolino Channel. He said Cena versus Styles equals and doesn't need no story. Who wins, who loses, who cares? Cena retires in 2025, Styles in 2026. Let them dance and let the Aussies enjoy. This is actually the perfect super chat to kind of break it down. John Cena versus AJ Styles doesn't need a story. They have the history. This is a match that WWE, always had in the plans, but they used the internet to manufacture the interest, to drum it up. And I think they did a really good job with that. Obviously, at the Crown Jewel kickoff show today, we saw what happened with Styles. It's official. He is retiring next year. Styles did an interview with the press last week. He wants to work with WWE even after retirement. I love AJ Styles. I am a massive AJ Styles fan. I don't think there's a way to sugarcoat that. I think it is very, very easy for me to pick John Cena winning. After what we saw with him and Brock Lesnar, I want to see John Cena end his career with 3 more wins. And so my 3 wins are John Cena defeats AJ Styles, John Cena defeats Dominic Mysterio, John Cena defeats Gunther.
Yeah. And it's actually so poetic, right? Because AJ Styles is the person to announce his retirement, his own retirement, and then lose the next day. Like that feels like a very AJ Styles thing to do. And again, it's not about win or losses, but that feels like an AJ Styles thing to do. And it's actually super cool because AJ Styles really is just like, you can just tell, very down to earth person. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. My thoughts on this, yeah, dude, John Cena picks up the victory. And like I said, give him 45 minutes. Let him go out there. Let him have a banger. Give the Aussies something fun. Obviously, the Aussies aren't always given these tremendous shows and these tremendous matches. And I personally think that this is one of those matches that will go down later in history that we talk about many years from now, John Cena and AJ Styles. And the fact that it will be connected to Perth, Australia, I think is really cool. And I think it's awesome that WWE has allowed this match to happen there. Us US fans, us United States fans, we're so spoiled in the sense of how we watch our pro wrestling. And now, the rest of the world gets to experience what we've been seeing for so many years, dude, like so many years. And yeah, dude, give him 45 minutes. Let him go out there. Let him tear the house down. AJ Styles, John Cena, 2 incredible talents. Give me John Cena all day long.
Yeah, I got to pick John Cena. One thing I will say, too, that's going to be so marvelous about this match, because when WWE does the introductions for the matches, especially title matches, they put the spotlight on them, the crowd just rumbles. This is going to be one of those matches where I think the Aussie crowd will not let them wrestle for like the first 2 minutes. It's going to be them staring each other down. They're going to be jumping and going crazy. And
look at what happened with Cody Rhodes earlier.
Yeah, I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be a phenomenal crowd. And this is where you are right. Like, they are definitely spoiled to a certain. we are definitely spoiled, but now they get to get spoiled, which I think is
correct. And it's so beautiful. And they're so loud. They're so loud, and it excites me. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. This match is the match that I am personally looking forward to the most. I'm sorry I keep interrupting and talking about it. Whatever. I'm genuinely so excited for this match. I cannot wait.
Did you see the video package where it's like they show the history of TNA and John Cena and AJ? Like,
it's two different worlds colliding.
Yeah, man, and it's AJ Styles. I mean, he's been saying it publicly, but his WWE career was made by John Cena, and I don't think people realize. Obviously, a lot of time has passed since then, but when AJ Styles came into WWE, there was this whole worry that was rightfully so. He's an outsider from TNA, went to New Japan. Like, they're going to bury him. And AJ has had an awesome WWE career. But we were worried, man, because we knew the way Vince was. And then when you get to the John Cena and AJ Styles stuff, I mean, it literally becomes some of the most memorable stuff in AJ Styles' career. So when you're a TNA, so when you're a TNA fan and you grow up watching AJ Styles, you know this is like their John Cena. But you know, deep down inside, you're like, fuck, Vince is going to bury him or WWE is going to bury him. And they didn't. And I love that. And I appreciate that so much. It's okay for AJ to lose this match. And I really just wanted to point that out. I think Tolino Channel really hit the nail on the head with that. It's like, let them dance and let the Aussies enjoy. This is going to be one of those matches that I think everybody truly can enjoy. And that'll be very, very fun. And I think it'll be very worth it. And shout out to WWE for understanding if you're doing a John Cena retirement tour, whether it was Triple H or John Cena or whoever made the choice, truthfully, it doesn't even matter. This is one of those matches that had to happen. And both of these guys are not at their greatest strength. I mean, they're not in their prime, but it's the nostalgia, but it's also the story, the history.
And I'll be honest with you, dude. I know they're about to go out there and give me 45 minutes of all that they got.
I don't know if it'll be 45 minutes, but I definitely think they'll give us some time and they're gonna soak it in. But
30 minutes, 45 minutes, I don't care. They're gonna give me all that they got.
And you know what's gonna pop me so much? John Cena's been doing this thing on his matches where he's using other wrestlers' moves that he respected.
Yes.
It's gonna pop me when AJ Styles hits an attitude adjustment on John Cena and John Cena hits a Styles clash on AJ. But what would even be better is not only a Styles clash, but if he tried to hit a phenomenal forearm, because I've never really seen John Cena do springboard shit.
Cena just on the top rope. Just doing a springboard off the top, bro. That would be nuts.
Yeah, that's exciting, man.
Yeah,
so we're both picking John Cena. Let's take a look at the chat. I mean, everybody's picking AJ Styles. No, I mean everybody's picking John Cena. Excuse me. Yeah, Michael Graham says John Cena is my pick. I mean, it makes sense. Chester says Cena is my pick. Trevon says when AJ came to WWE in his first few feuds was with Jericho and Cena. I mean, yeah, and they made him.
I've been doing that Jericho feud, WrestleMania 32. I remember that.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for that. We did get 2 more super chats. David Primero dropped a $4.99. He says, I think Stephanie Vakir should win so we can get a storyline where Tiffany doubts herself and eventually beaten by her new challenger for the title. I honestly think Tiffany Stratton needs to be a heel. I don't think the babyface stuff is working. So you could do a thing where Stephanie gets beat up. Honestly, like you could do it against Julia. You could do it against anybody. I really don't care at this point who it is. But that eventually Tiffany Stratton turns heel. Then, you could have Tiffany Stratton win Money in the Bank and be a heel again. Like, I mean, I don't care. I think Tiffany Stratton is such a good performer. It just, there needs to be some sort of shift there.
For sure.
So her losing, eventually losing her women's championship, I think that should happen this year. And we'll see which way they go. Obviously, WWE hasn't done the draft or like shaken up the roster yet, but that's something we would have to consider too.
Yeah.
Shout out to David Primero. Tolino Channel dropping another 100 Indian rupees. He says Tiffany can turn heel at Crown Jewel if she lost, so she can face the babyface on SmackDown. Heel like Nia feud has exhausted, or Julia needs to be scaled like Vakir. Yeah, I mean, there needs to be some sort of shift. Triple H is now more hands-on than ever with SmackDown. It was very evident by watching today's show.
For sure.
And he needs to be more hands-on with SmackDown. And I think the first order of business isn't necessarily the men's division. It's the women's division. They have the talent, they have the stories, but you got to do something bigger, better, you know, more eccentric, more emphasized. And I think that's kind of the way to do it.
Agreed.
Shout out to Tolino Channel for the super chat. The next match we have is Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. I'm actually really excited about this match. I think it's had a phenomenal build. I have to keep my predictions relatively short on this, though, because right now Asuka and Kairi have been getting the upper hand a lot. They're in Australia. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky are crowd favorites. I would love to see them win, but I just want to pose one thing, just one thing that I want to pose here as a possibility. Just one thing.
Okay.
I would have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky win 1,000,000%. I would have them stand tall. Call back Dakota Kai. She's from New Zealand. Call her back. Let's get the Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai together as a legitimate heel faction. Triple H knows what to do. He's done it before. Have them attack the girls after, continue the story. Allow this to be a reason for Dakota Kai to eventually get singles gold and like do some stuff. You know what I mean? But I am picking Rhea Ripley and Io Sky.
Okay, so I feel a little bit different about it. You know, we talk about like the hometown favorite and crowds and stuff like that. I think that mattered before. I don't know how much it matters like today. You know what I mean? I'm actually going to go ahead and pick Asuka and Kairi Sane here. I would actually like to see those two pick up the victory a little bit more. Now, this one I'm not going to get too technical with because I don't think you have to be too technical. I think you can just allow Asuka and Kairi to win. And under the circumstance that you don't, you can do something where maybe Kairi Sane pulls away from Asuka a little bit more because obviously we've seen that a little bit. So I'm going to say Kairi and Asuka, but it's all going to be depending on, in my head, where Kairi Sane lies in this. So I'm picking Asuka and Kairi Sane.
It's interesting. I don't hate it. I mean, listen, I would never hate the idea of Asuka and Kairi Sane getting a win. I just don't see how the two... The two...
Again, I fully understand where people are coming from, and maybe it's me being just to try to be different or whatever, but I do in my mind feel like I could see Asuka and Kairi picking up this victory, no problem.
Yeah. Fun. Let's take a look at the chat. Let's see what the chat is saying. Bonkers LFC says Rhea and Io win. Darth Bane says Io turns heel on Rhea. Damn, that's what I thought. That could be fun. That could be fun.
Yeah. I actually think Rhea would actually turn heel on Io if they would do it.
I don't know. Henry says Kairi will be the reason the Kabuki Warriors lose. She won't be able to pull the trigger on Io, costing them the match. I could see that happening too.
Like I said, that would be my one exemption.
You know, the idea of Kairi not pulling the trigger and turning Kairi babyface could be fun. But I think at that point you have to move Kairi Sane to SmackDown.
Why you say that?
Let her break away from Raw. Let her go after the U.S. title. Like, let her actually go for like a mid-card title. Because I feel like for Raw, the Intercontinental Women's title, Becky Lynch, I don't think that's like the play right now. But
yeah, I get it.
Definitely interested in that. A lot of people are picking. I mean, this one's a little bit more tight, neck and neck.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, this one you can go either way.
David Primero says, I want Asuka and Kairi to win as they always lose to Rhea. Make the Kabuki Warriors strong for War Games. Well, it depends what the plan would be for War Games, but
War Games, right?
Could be a possibility.
Agreed.
Shit.
A lot of fun stuff, man. Yeah. A lot of fun stuff.
Yeah. So your pick is the Kabuki Warriors. I'm picking Rio.
I
like that. That's a little cute thing. That's a cute little thing the internet has come up with. Good job, internet. Tolino Channel dropped a super chat for 100 Indian rupees. He says MFT made a statement after video packages, but when Solo stands with the gang, it's like the kid who hired gangsters to beat up the bullies in high school. Well, MFT, if you guys saw SmackDown today, I mean, let's just call it what it is. MFT. It's like Gorillas of Destiny is back, baby. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. What they did with MFT today on SmackDown, again, I know it's weird because you guys may not be watching on Netflix. Cough, cough. NordVPN.com/Ango. You can watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, you guys definitely should. I used my phone today to watch it.
All I'm saying is MFT finally feels like a fucking awesome group to watch. And there was
those video packages really went a long way.
But it's just fun. And they're going after the YS6. And it just, that was really sick. Honestly, like I give WWE props on that because I was like, okay, these are two groups that I like the individual members in, but what can we do to actually make the groups feel a little bit better? And we're getting that. So that's cool. And the face paint, you know, it's like Gorillas of Destiny.
That was cool as hell.
So I'm all for it. I'm very excited. Seleno Channel, I appreciate the super chat, but I'm just going to say right now, if you didn't watch SmackDown, watch SmackDown. I think right now a lot of people on Twitter, which I usually talk shit about the people on Twitter because they're just like the worst, most insufferable thing in the world. But I'm seeing a lot of people on Twitter come out and talk about like, damn, this is going to be the feud that gets both groups truly gaining momentum.
Them in the YS6.
Yeah, like this is just it's gonna be a very, very fun. However they decide to tell a story or whatever they decide to do, we'll find out. But yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Shout out to Seleno Channel. Billy.
Yeah,
it's time for the main event.
Let's do it.
The men's Crown Jewel Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Please bear with me.
I'm barren.
I can't believe I'm saying this.
Oh, no.
Seth Rollins is losing.
God. Damn it, dude.
Seth Rollins is losing. Cody Rhodes is winning. Seth Rollins should lose.
And
it all has to do with him becoming distant from Paul Heyman. We saw him walk away today. Seth Rollins is not trusting the process. And the vision will soon be without Seth. I think Seth Rollins, if you look at it from this perspective of this internal battle that he faces with Cody, he cannot get out of his own head. Cody has gotten into Seth's head, and Seth is in denial about it. Cody needs to beat Seth Rollins. Cody is the QB1. He is the Crown Jewel champion of WWE. He should win. And on top of that, this is the most important part, and I truly mean this. You are going to get another year of great, phenomenal storytelling with Seth losing this match. There will be more to gain with Seth losing this match than winning this match. And
okay. I need you to explain how.
Perfect.
If we're going to dig deep into this, I need you to explain.
Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns. If Bronson Reed wins and Seth Rollins loses, what need does Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Austin Theory, Paul Heyman, what need do they have from Seth Rollins if they're the ones getting the job done, but Seth can't get the job done? You want to continue the story of friction. If you want to continue the story of this group and Seth Rollins and everything, we already have identified with Seth Rollins, the biggest problem this guy has is who really runs the vision. And Seth is in denial about it because he knows it's not him. He knows it's Paul Heyman pulling all the strings, especially for Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. It is inevitable. Seth has to lose this match, but that is why I'm so keen on Bronson Reed beating Roman Reigns. Bronson Reed and the Vision standing tall at the end of Roman Reigns' match is a big deal. The visual of Seth Rollins, you know, and give it to me WrestleMania 39-esque with Cody Rhodes sitting in the ring, sad in disappointment, while Roman Reigns is celebrating with the belt, right? The same thing should be applied with Seth Rollins. He should be disappointed that he couldn't get it down. He should have a moment of reflection to be like, I really let him get into my head. There is so much more storytelling capabilities here. And I genuinely believe with all my heart, this is the right move. I think Cody winning just makes so much more sense. And if you really, 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 really want, right? Especially if you watch SmackDown today, I think the Drew McIntyre match or Jacob Fatu match is something that we're kind of leaning into maybe for Saturday night's main event in November. Or, we'll see obviously what happens with War Games. But I think right now, if you're the WWE, you have so many things that you could do with Seth Rollins that it just makes sense. You could even do something with CM Punk costing Seth Rollins. There's just so much more story here that you could do with Seth losing, and it's inevitable. I think it's going to lead to what's the word that we use? Cinema. I really do. I think it's just that's
cinema,
where we're at.
Baby.
That's where I'm at with
So okay. I'm torn. I'm torn with this match. It's interesting, number one, because you make some very valid points out of that. I'll be transparent with you. Very valid points. Obviously, Brock Lesnar, is somewhere along the lines just kind of hanging. There's this world in my mind that sees Seth Rollins winning this match. And the reason why that is Seth Rollins, I know we're talking about him being pulled away from the vision, but what if he didn't? What if Cody couldn't get in his head? What if he really is that much of a mastermind? What if everything that is happening right now is an illusion? I know that's kind of a stretch, but what if it truly is this kind of illusion that it's supposed to make Seth look weak right now, but ultimately Seth picks up the victory, and everybody who's doubted him, he can now kind of go after. Now, I do hear you 100% with the CM Punk thing. Now, that is where I'm torn a little bit. I think you could have Seth be costed this match by CM Punk, because Seth always told CM Punk, you're not going to hold the title as long as I'm in the company. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Well, Punk can now come back and be like, well, nothing's going to happen to you as long as I'm in the company. So that would be my one argument. But there is this level of seeing Seth Rollins on top, being the guy over Cody Rhodes to ultimately ensued doubt in Cody Rhodes' head, because Cody Rhodes has this feud that obviously lingers in the background with Randy Orton, right? So there's numerous ways that I think WWE could go about this. This really is, and again, I pooped on it. I shit all over it, dude. I was not, up until this week, I was not fully behind this match, and maybe I wasn't looking that in depth into it, but now I guess I'm kind of looking a little bit further. I could easily see this going either way. Truth be told, for me personally, and my personal thought process, and I'm a Cody Rhodes guy, I hate Seth Rollins, because I'm a CM Punk guy at the end of the day. I would like to see Seth win this match. I would. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Seth here, just ultimately off the back of I would like to see what happens going forward.
All right. We'll see what happens. Let's take a look at the chat. Darth Bane extended his membership for 13 months. He says, in no world should Cody beat Seth. Henry G says, Seth gets the win. There will be some form of interference to help him. Michael Graham says, I see your point, Ango, but I think Seth's going to win. Rick Corrales says, I want Cody, but I think Seth wins. David Primero says Cody should lose and have Randy cost him and can build tensions with him and Randy. Seth should be strong for War Games. Okay. Not bad philosophy there. Christopher Rott says Seth Rollins is going to win by the help of Brock Lesnar, and Brock will become the new member of the Vision. So I mean, if you have Theory join against Bronson Reed, okay, this is how it could work with this.
Okay.
Bronson Reed gets help of Braun Breaker and Theory. Brock helps Seth Rollins against Cody. Now you have a scenario in which Cody, Roman, Jey Uso, LA Knight, CM Punk versus the Vision at War Games, but that just means Cody doesn't defend the belt at War Games Survivor Series. I mean, that could be a possibility. Chester Franklin says Seth winning because he will get help, but it will be no Vision help. It will be a Beast help. There was a backstage segment weeks ago between Brock and Heyman. Trevon says Rollins is winning. Let's see. What if Heyman makes a phone call? It will be Brock.
Yeah, so a lot of people think that Brock will actually help Seth.
Darth says, "What if we get WWE'd and Roman and Cody both win?" Well, that's a possibility. That's a possibility, bro. That WWE is gonna be WWE, but we're gonna get
the third main event at WrestleMania 32. We're gonna get Roman versus Cody.
Yeah. I mean, look, the purpose of this is to open up and have different conversations that we know WWE probably won't do, but it sounds fun. So, but yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of torn on that. I get it. And I respect it. I'm picking Cody for sure. Even Triple H tweeted out about Cody doing all the travel and stuff, and he's QB1.
For sure. He's the guy. He's the QB1.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm picking Seth, though.
Nice. So we'll see who's right, who's wrong. Toledo Channel dropping another 100 Indian rupees. He says the Kabuki Warriors is a lifeline to Kari. Kari had a ceiling before, but if triggers are pulled, Kari is an underdog story since Asuka berates her. Yes. That's why they should lose. That's why they should lose. Asuka should berate her after. Ooh, this is fun. Fun predictions. A lot of good stuff today. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm honestly excited, and I look forward to seeing. I'm excited to see what happens, man. I don't know.
I'm excited to see what transpires, man. And what's even crazier is I don't have to wait all that long for the show. It comes on in less than 24 hours?
Yeah, 8 a.m. So
8 a.m. 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Rise and shine, bitches.
I'll be live, too. I'll be live. My computer's fixed. I'm good. I will be live, guys. So if you guys want to pull up to the live stream, do that.
So Billy will be live. I'll for sure be doing a post show. Billy, come join us on the post show.
Yep, I will be there for the post show.
I think it's fun. Guys, make sure you check out Billy TKO on YouTube at Billy TKO. Thank you, everybody who dropped super chats. We did hit our super chat goal. Shout out to everybody who came through. I don't know. YouTube is not working today. It's not telling everybody about us being live. It's a very, very weird situation. But we did our thing. If you guys are watching on demand, your support means the world. Go ahead and consider dropping a like. Some very fun predictions. If you guys agree, disagree, drop the comments. With that being said, though, we will see you guys tomorrow.